British film industry is often known for churning out rom-coms and Ken Loach-style naturalism. So how exciting was it for you both to be signed up to a movie that pits hoodies, stoners and a nurse versus alien invaders?
Very exciting.
Very exciting indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I felt like. We were reading something completely brand new and adventurous and incredibly ambitious, which I think, you know, is really exciting. And then to realise that not only had Joe, you know, thought of this and wanted to make it, but other people had were more than happy to collaborate with him and kind of get his vision on the screen. And so by the time the actors get involved, you know, you were in the midst of 4-year prep of something.
Yeah.
So it was it's brilliant, and it feels like nothing I've seen, like you say, come out of Britain before.
Now, Luke, Joe Cornish said that your herb-infused character
Yep.
was inspired by his younger self. Were you aware of this during filming, and did you try and model it perhaps on his mannerisms at all?
Well, he told me that. He told me that it was based on him through rehearsals, I think, and I sort of suspected that anyway. I mean, I don't know why. I just sort of knew he'd written it and could see before me. I don't know. I had.
He wasn't Moses, sorry.
Yeah. He was never going to be Moses or Pest.
Yeah.
So I kind of did know. Maybe I sort of knowing that, maybe there was little bits of Joe that I would kind of nick and put in there. But I think Joe's probably a lot cooler than Brewis, really, now anyway. Maybe he wasn't back then.
Couldn't be less cool.
It couldn't be less cool. Oi! So, so there's bits of Joe and there's just bits of people I've met and friends of mine and things like that.
Jodie, your character ultimately brings out some of the humanity in the hoodies. Do you think it's making a valid social point and we should hug more hoodies? Not to sound like David Cameron at all.
I just think that
Which ain't cool.
No. I think it's a really brave decision of Joe to start a film with quite a violent opening scene against a woman with 5 young lads that, you know, you live in London, and I've never ever been in that situation where I've been set on by a gang, but you know it happens, and then for you to will your audience to fall for them and be with them the whole way. And I think he does that so amazingly, because as tacky as it sounds, you cannot judge a book by its cover. So I suppose the film is trying to say that, particularly Moses' character, that it's a product of his environment, that you realise he's such a lonely young boy. He's a boy, and he's not the man he's kind of trying to portray himself as a defence mechanism is in the opening scene. So I think, it's a big ask of people, but I really love that, and I think I'll be hugging some hoodies. I'm next hanging out with them.
What was it like for you both working with Nick Frost, a comedy legend?
It was wonderful. It was great. I mean, he's such a
lovely
nice guy and great kind of person to have on set and to work with, and so it was great.
Yeah, he's great, and you know, he's obviously kind of out of all of us, I think, as an actor, he's probably worked the longest, has he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he so it was brilliant. And I think you guys did quite a bit of improv in your scenes, didn't you?
We had kind of a day, I think, when we sat on that sofa for the scene when we just smoked a bong. Have you seen the film?
Yeah.
So when we let out the smoke and we sort of sat there for a morning, basically just waffling on and kind of doing scenes different ways and stuff. And,
I shouldn't ask if there was any method acting involved in the bong scene or not. Or...
You shouldn't ask. No.
Did you have much sympathy for the guys running around in these monster suits?
Oh, they were, you know, when we were free, it was weird because we'd be outside at 4 o'clock in the morning, freezing in February. I mean, you know, shaking, and then you'd see them running about and they'd take it off and they were just dripping. I mean, they must have been so hot in those suits, and they worked for months before we even got on board, you know, kind of choreographing it. These, you know, there's a lot of technical and a lot of, you know, safety laws you've got to kind of go through when you've got a guy jumping on things and ragging on a van, and they're amazing. They were amazing to be with, and their energy particularly. You know, you did take after take, and they went for it then every time.
They're like athletes, aren't they? Their bodies are just trained and honed, and they've kind of broken down every little movement, so they've worked it out, and then they can, you know, then you can be acting these scenes, and they can be galloping down a corridor at you or jumping across bridges and stuff. It's like, it's very rare to do any sort of film where you have an alien creature like that actually present on set and there, and you're not looking at a tennis ball and then with a stick.
Yeah, tennis ball on sticks.
So it was great, you know, and I think. I think the fact that Joe chose to make it in that way, I think, really helped us kind of making the film. But also, I think I just love the feeling it gives, I think, on screen as well. You know, you realise that it's not just someone come and done it on a computer screen afterwards.
Yeah.
And one last question, to sound a bit like Columbo. What's your favourite alien invasion movies of all time?
Well, we just remembered a film from our childhood called Mac and Me, which I was kind of excited to remember.
It's not even an invasion, is it? It's
Is
like
it
a
not?
friendly little... No, but I think in a good way.
Oh, right.
It's an alien film without it being an invasion. It's like you want them there.
Yeah. That's what it's just like a sort of metaphor for open arms to anyone from the world. Come and be friends in peace.
And that's a world exclusive. We found some fans for Mac and Me.
Great film.
What?
But District 9 as
We're
well.
not
I
alone.
like, so
Oh, District 9's brilliant.
that's good.